Powers Talk. It's myself, 100 Eyes, live on Powers Talk. And today, joining me, we have the lovely ladies, Janai and Kesi Stevens. How you ladies doing?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Janai, she's I'm going to say it again, she's a 5-star singer.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so make sure you go check out those vocals, because you're going to fall in love instantly. Mwah.
Oh, thank you.
And Kesi is a dope writer. You previously released a book, right?
Yes.
What's your book called?
A Guide to Life, African Proverbs Made Relevant Today.
Mad, you might have to give me the African proverb still. I can just bust that every day, you feel me? But yo, people, this is the show, Powers Talk. Yeah? If your mouth don't empower, keep it. You don't know. So you know the game, right?
Yeah.
There's a topic in a bucket. One of you is going to pick a topic out of that bucket. Then I'm going to ask you questions relating to that topic.
Okay.
So now, you girls going to have to fight for it. Who's going first?
Okay. Oh, straight off, coming in.
She had the ching chang roll already. She had the fingers.
I love
it. Done. Point it towards the mic, the camera.
Ooh, sweet Jesus.
We're going in. We're going straight in.
Lord have mercy.
Boom.
Ooh.
Oh, lad.
Oi.
I really stepped there first.
Okay, so what I pulled out is abortion.
Oh,
for
man.
anyone listening.
It's abortion.
Oh, I've got a lot to say on this.
Ladies,
Yeah.
let's go.
Let's go.
Okay. The American Journal of Public Health states that 1 in every 4 women have an abortion during their lifetime. Yeah? Mm-hmm. My question to you is, first of all, before I go into anything deep, what are your thoughts on abortion individually? Janai?
I'm a massive advocate for women's rights. Like, for a whole heap of reasons, I think a woman should be able to choose what happens. That doesn't mean that I don't think that she should include the man or shut anybody else out, but I do believe that a woman's agency over her body is her own, and no one else should be getting involved in that.
Okay.
Like the same as a man's agency over his body is his own. No one else can get involved in that.
Okay.
I'm pro-choice as well, but I'm also about like prevention and aftercare.
Okay.
So how do we prevent any women from having an unwanted pregnancy?
Okay.
And how do we prepare and help with aftercare if they have an abortion? Because we sort of forget that part where you've released the baby technically.
Yep.
How do we sort of heal the womb and recover the mind from that as well?
So, just to clarify, you lot are for or against?
I'm for abortion.
You're for abortion?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm getting vibes that you might not be. And that's fine.
To be fair,
that's fine.
I'm gonna be real with you. For me, it's not about I'm not for it. I think every situation is different, and I think you got to judge it differently. But if you want to keep it straightforward, no, I'm not for abortions. But I understand a lot of situations that may require it. Do you know what I'm saying? In order for the person to live in peace.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
I think that's why I'm pro-choice as well, because it's like there's so many different situations.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
It's not. I don't know what I would do in a situation, but I know for another woman, I would never say, "Oh, you can't." Like, it's not my body. I'm like in control of my own body and my own wants and needs. At the end of the day.
So what about rape cases?
Absolutely, that's what I mean. Like, I don't feel like you should be saying, well, if someone violated you, then yeah, you can do it. But if you just are not in the place where you know in yourself that you're not going to be able to care for this child in a way that's going to help it to grow into the best potential of itself, no, you can't have an abortion in that. In that, like, where do we draw the lines? Like, from my perspective, a lot of that is centered around a man and not around the woman.
You think
so? Like, if someone else, obviously going to be a man, violates you, then that's, or if it's incest, or if it's any one of these things that are that shouldn't happen, then yeah, we will allow you to make that choice. But if it's a choice that you've made because of your own life and thoughts and feelings and knowledge of yourself and your capabilities to raise that child, then no, we don't trust you to make that choice then.
Okay, what about the people that say abortion is murder? What do you say to them?
Again, it's not your life. It's not your body. So you may think it's murder, but at the same time, it's not for you to sort of pass judgment
and stop someone else from, because what you're really doing, it's easy to say I'm against abortion, and you shouldn't get an abortion. But are you going to live that person's life? Are you going to be there for the 60 years of that child's life, because it doesn't stop at 18, like, to help them raise and really do the best that they can.
But we got accounts from women that are in their, let's say, their late 50s, and when they had abortions, they deeply regret it. So from hindsight, they're giving us information.
I did dumb stuff when I was a kid that I would deeply regret. That's life, innit? I grew and I learned from that scenario, and hopefully I won't repeat the same mistake. And like, if unfortunately those same women weren't able to get pregnant again, I can definitely understand why they might have those feelings, but I don't think that's a reason to stop all other women from having an abortion.
And that's why I say about the aftercare. Like, someone goes to an abortion and then they go home and it's done. Where's the aftercare? Where's the holistic healing and help for your mental health, your womb health?
It's not just that, is it? It's
restore
yourself.
So
much.
Because you're technically, you've had an abortion and you said, I don't really care about this this baby, but your body knows it's had a baby inside of you.
100%.
Your womb says, I've had a baby inside of me. Whereas my baby,
the DNA is mixed. The baby's DNA and your DNA are mixed.
Through a partial chemical change, so your body thinks there is a baby in there, or there was a baby. So where is it physically? So aftercare needs to come in and be like, now we need to sort of retrain your body back to being not having a baby in there, and your mind thinking, there is
the body's going to suffer trauma as well, isn't it?
It's a traumatic experience, but we don't see it as a traumatic experience in terms of my body's in a state of shock.
So I'm gonna go back to Janai, when you said something, and I want to raise the fact to you. What about some people that use abortion as a form of birth control?
Yeah, I don't agree with that. Like, that's just irresponsible.
There's a lot of irresponsible people.
There's a lot of stupid people, there's a lot of evil people, there's a lot of people in the world that are going to have different sort of approaches to life. I can't really do much about that, and I wouldn't advocate for, like, whilst I do agree with abortion, no, if my friend was coming, or I watched a friend of mine or someone that I knew using abortion as a birth control tool, trust me, I would be like, hey, we need to sit down and talk, because this is not okay. You need to make better choices in your life. Like, but it's all about choice for me, and being allowed to have that.
Their body will react to that eventually anyway, so they'll see the repercussions of them constantly using that as a tool, because your body will go through like amount of rejections. If you want to have children later on in life, it'll probably just completely reject the thought of it, because it's like every time there's been a baby there, our body's gotten rid of it, or we've gotten rid of it. So now my body is accustomed to this. Like, there's something in there, we get rid of it. Something in there, we get rid of it. So they'll have to deal with the repercussions of their actions to an extent, but again, you can't put someone else's life in our hands. Like, at the end of the day, to say you can't do this, you can't do that.
Yeah, but we're just talking from your perspective, your perspective.
Yeah.
But also going back to your point on aftercare and like sort of seeing the woman and the choices that she's made as a sort of holistic thing. Okay, you've had a traumatic experience that's happened to your body. Let's look at what happens there. But you can take that all the way back to just periods and how we look at that in general life. I genuinely throw up, I'm in extreme pain for 4 days every single month, and I'm expected to just get up and go and work. No one cares. Like, it starts from there that women are told that your pain, especially when it comes from down below, is your own to deal with. Don't come and look at me and ask me to care about it unless I'm passing judgments. But
are you talking about from the man's point of view? Just
from society's perspective. There'll be other women that have these views as well. Like, don't talk to me about your periods or the fact that you've just had an abortion. I don't want to, or even miscarriage. Like you can't, you're not allowed to talk about these things. And aftercare is a really important sort of thing about it, because everyone just expects you to shut up, even after you've had a kid. Some women have. I've spoken to women. I did a series of birth stories, so I interviewed all of my friends about their experiences of giving birth.
Oh, wow.
I'm terrified of it. So I'm just I really wanted to know people's experiences. And like, some of them, not all of them were horror stories, but I know women that had cesareans. If someone cut you from your across your stomach, literally through your diaphragm and ripped you open and pulled a human out, some women were expected to get up and hoover the staircase 2 weeks later. Like, do you know what I mean? I feel like there's just sometimes
major core damage, that is, boy.
Yeah, and I think the issues that women face when it comes to their reproductive rights just really aren't researched or invested in or cared about. And when you're a black woman, it's even worse. So, like,
Even
Yeah.
like contraception, it wasn't made for women. the damage that it does to our bodies.
What do you mean? What do you mean? So
contraception was made for men to not get women pregnant.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Contraception affects our wombs and our womb health so detrimentally that it's not talked about enough. Even condoms can affect our vaginal areas, like deteriorate it. That's what I'm saying. It's not made for us. So prevention isn't there. Effective
Education
prevention isn't there.
So
So,
what could be
yeah.
the prevention then for getting pregnant then? Just don't have sex.
Education.
There's education and there's following your natural cycle as well.
Okay.
There's a period in your cycle where you're literally
Where you're ovulating and when you're not, yeah.
infertile, and
Yeah,
when you're
yeah.
most fertile.
Oh.
And researching proper treatments that we can use, pills that we can use that actually are in alignment with our natural hormones in our bodies, because now we've got our natural hormones plus the hormones in the food plus the hormones in the pill.
And when you deep
so it's
it-
just like
Gotcha.
one cluster of madness going on in our bodies, and
Wait.
you expect us to have a child, and then when the child comes out, it's God knows what's coming to the child.
For real.
It's I think pregnancy, childbirth, motherhood, and I'm not taking the man out of that, parenthood as a whole, is probably, in my opinion, the single hardest thing that your body, your mind is ever going to do. And I don't think that people prepare for that as much as they need to or should.
So do you think a man should have no say when it comes to a
No,
woman's
not
pregnancy?
at all. Absolutely not.
I think
I definitely think that he should have a say. Like I would never agree with that.
Okay.
Like,
so if you was pregnant by your partner and your partner said, I don't want this baby.
it would depend on a lot of different circumstances. Are we in a position where if I can't cope, because we live in a society, let's not get it wrong or lie about it, where if anything goes wrong, even if I have doubts about having this kid, I'm probably going to be the one that has to deal with it day in, day out if anything goes wrong in this relationship. So I think, like, you have to think about that. And I feel like men don't often maybe take that into account. Like, I think especially, like, it's
in a woman's nature anyway to be motherly, loving, naturally.
It's not in my nature.
No?
No.
Majority then.
Maybe
of
because
that.
we're socialised like that. Like, if you
But
didn't,
it's all over the world. Women.
it's because
are
we're
naturally
socialised like that. There are communities in Africa and Asia where women are strong and independent and rule the village. Like, the Western British idea of how society is run is not
Women
the
are
norm.
just child bearers.
Like, and that's
it.
Yeah.
Not just childbirth.
Western society.
Well,
society.
that in a lot of ways, by denying women the right or the choice to have an abortion, that is kind of what the message that you're
It's
giving
not in this
us.
country though.
It's what's not in this country.
You can have an abortion.
Yeah, no, you can't. Like, you couldn't in Northern Ireland or Ireland, just maybe Ireland up until a few years ago. Like,
They're highly religious countries though, isn't it? They're governed by that, isn't it?
Don't get me wrong. I really feel like I'm maybe coming across really like one-sided. Like I said, I think there are very many mitigating factors. Like, religion is one of them. How you were raised is another. Where you are financially, emotionally, physically in your life. Like, I think that, like, there are so many different factors as to why someone might choose to or not have an abortion. But I would never say that men don't have a say ever. I think men very much do have a say, but I think the buck stops with the woman, because at the end of the day, it's her. I'm 5 times more likely to die in childbirth because of the tone of my skin.
Okay,
I can't take that lightly.
Let me flip it then. Okay, you got pregnant, but the man wanted to keep the baby, but you didn't.
Is he willing to?
Yes, he is.
Then maybe I'd think about it a little bit differently.
Okay, so okay, yeah.
But again, prevention is having these discussions before it ever happens. Being with a partner that you know is like of good intention and will be a good father or mother.
So it's
You know
about
what
making
I'm
wise
saying?
choices.
Exactly.
Before you
Simple
lay
as
down
that.
with someone.
And everyone should get a choice. Like, and I completely understand why men can feel like, hold on a minute, that's not fair. I'm half of this kid. Why am I not getting a say in potentially terminating a life? I would love to be a father. I'd love to have those memories and those experiences. Why are you denying me this? I can understand that train of thought. I can see why it might feel like a really, like, that's half me. Like, how can you just decide to get rid of it? I can understand that point of view, but I think when you look at it as a whole and what women bear, especially after giving birth and becoming mothers, compared to what men tend to bear, night and day, mate.
I think it's definitely an educational thing, definitely, and I feel maybe people have to see it. Of that, like, go to an abortion clinic, just go when you're not pregnant.
Yeah.
Do you get, and feel the vibe,
Yeah.
and that's where you're gonna know if you want to be here or not.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna move cautious.
I think that's
Yeah.
happened to a lot of women anyway. They go to the abortion clinic and they change their mind because they
Yeah.
hear about the procedure and they're like, oh.
I think the procedure's a bit mad.
But at least they
Yeah.
had that choice to do that.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's like, it's like with any sort of big operation, you don't just like turn up one day and it happens. There's like
you got time.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
of course.
there's definitely going to be stages where you might be able to be like, this is not for me, or be able to have a conversation with other people or whatever. But yeah, I'm imagining going to an abortion clinic and like talking to the women there, and I'm just imagining quite scared and like lonely and quite anxious women, and I wouldn't encourage anyone to bear a child under those conditions.
It's very sensitive, man, because the decision you make will affect you like to your grave.
It will, but you can make other decisions, better decisions, different decisions.
Yeah.
There's like giving birth is not the end, be and end all. There's loads of kids in foster care. Do you know what I mean? Like there's loads
That's
of
another issue.
That's
again.
another issue.
Foster care, and we know about the foster care system is not a nice place for children. So
It's
then it's like,
not.
okay, I have this child and I don't want it, I'll give it to foster care.
Nah.
10 times worth the life's going to be.
And what colour are most of the kids in foster care, please?
Like, I know.
So the chances from that point are just really sad. Like, and if you can stop someone from just feeling lost and unloved and potentially just displaced their whole entire existence by their mum making a decision to have an abortion, then I'd rather that and save a 80-year lifetime of just, who am I, what am I doing here, no one's loved me, I've never had a support system.
What about quality of life? If you're
That's
pregnant,
exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, if you was pregnant and you knew your child was going to come out with a poor quality of life, that abortion thing.
It would depend on the severity of the condition,
Yeah.
but most likely
That'll be like a serious, like, have to have a consultation with a lot of people.
Yeah,
Not just like doctors, but even the spiritual community as well, just having that holistic approach. Like, I keep going back to holistic approach, but I like having that element to discuss options and things like that, because you just need to have your community around you during those times.
And I have to be so aware that I'm a black woman in this society who gets not listened to in every institution that I turn to. So if I do need help for this child, if I do need help for myself, if I need to access services, that's going to be probably twice as hard for me to do.
Facts.
And housing as well, another issue for us.
Exactly. And if I don't have a stable partner, I might not have a stable family. I'm not saying that this is always going to be the case. I'm giving you the worst case scenario here.
Yeah, of course.
But like, where does that leave me?
It's a tricky one. I think we're going to leave it there.
Yeah.
Because it is mad. Because it's like, how can you dictate what's right or wrong for someone else? Then there's what gives you the right to force a child into the world with having no responsibility, taking care. It's actually so deep. It's just,
that's what I'm saying. Give people the choice, and it's their
Yeah.
decision. As you say, their cross to bear, but at the same time, we need to make sure that the aftercare is there for people to tap into.
And they're educated on the front end as well,
Yeah.
to make better choices.
then you got some women in poverty that are denied abortions. And it's like, it's crazy.
And why are they denied abortion? So that their children can grow up and be a part of the prison system and a part of the low wage, low economy.
Political. Mad
Yeah,
political. It's
definitely.
crazy
So
political.
having kids is one of the most political acts you can possibly make in your life. Maybe I'm overstating that.
No,
You're not.
you're not.
But, like,
But it's
you know-
nice. It's slick still. I like it. Where's the power? I like that. Because that is one of the biggest deals in life.
It is.
Don't ever get that shit.
Like even over the pandemic, or with Trump, or all of the things that have happened in the last few years with families, brothers, sisters, mothers, daughters, like being like, I can't believe that you think that. Like, I would hate that. I would hate that for my child to grow up after I've nurtured it. This is way off topic now.
No,
but like,
it's not.
Do you know what I mean? Like to grow up and have that difference of opinion to someone that had literally come from me. I don't know what I'd do in those. And these are all things that I really, really have to think about, because this world now is different from the world that I was raised to believe in.
But it's about adapting and evolving with the times as well.
I
If you're going to stay stuck in the times, then you are going to expect that to happen.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
But I'm just because of the nature of it, I'm never going to move as fast as my kids are going to move. So there's always going to be that disconnect between what I understand of their life and their reality to what I think their reality is. Like, and for me at this point, like, that's genuinely one of the biggest. The earth is dying.
But sorry, to add to that before you go to that.
Yeah.
The only way you can overstand the children will be to communicate them on a regular basis to know what's going on.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'd rather, just for me personally, I'd rather do that in a foster home or in a pro unit or in a place where maybe someone needs to have a caring, motherly black face that they can tell their stuff to. I'm retraining to be a counsellor. That's literally what I want to do. Like, I'd rather be able to do that than what I've experienced and what I've seen in my life is just the stress and the pressure of, I grew up in a single parent household, of having to deal with life as a black woman in this society and not understand how to raise the next generation because I don't understand their reality. Like, for me, that's something that I'm really having to wrap my head around in terms of having a kid, because I will not be able to understand their lives, and it will take a lot of work, and that's part of being a parent. That's what happens. But it is a very political decision.
Mad. You see what? We stayed on this topic longer than we
So
had to. But you know what? It's fine, because I don't think there'll be another time where I have 2 melanated women in here giving me their thoughts about abortion. So the time deserved is needed.
Well,
Isn't
Thank
it?
you
Wherever.
for giving me the floor. Sorry,
Big up yourself.
don't ask me to talk about these things.
Well, that's what you're here for. You're here to talk the things, woman.
You pulled it.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying.
Hey, I hope you're lucky on the next one then, innit? Yeah. So, Kesi, please, darling, give me a little stir in there and pick one out and point it towards the camera. Let them know what it is. Mad.
Oh, give me strength.
Oh.
Not Black Lives Matter. God.
We love Black Lives Matter, man.
Oh my God.
So what? Wait. Before we get deep into Black Lives Matter, sorry. What are your initial thoughts on Black Lives Matter as of today?
Or the movement.
The movement, the political group, the whatever you want to call it.
I never really thing with the movement ever. From when it came, I was just like.
When did it come out?
When it came out, how many years ago? I was just like.
Okay.
Why?
I was like, I didn't understand the purpose of it to an extent.
Okay.
Because I was just like, Black Lives Matter. I was like, but I know my life matters, so I don't need the whole showcase of that. And it's like the same. Nothing's new's been done with the movement. It's the same protest. Someone dies, get angry protest. Someone dies, get angry protest. Police brutality, get angry protest. What have we done that we haven't done in the 1950s and 60s? Like, it's the same thing being repeated. And I've always been like very like, I've never been a part of the protesting thing, doing that stuff. I've always been about education. And it's learning,
I see you out there.
educating myself on past things, and then learn how to implement what we've done in the past, change it for the future. Like right now, I can't do anything because I'm obviously I ain't got the finances to do so, but I have the brain power to do so, and I know I can educate people. That's where I stand. That's my everyone. Like I said, everyone
that's
knows their
something.
position. Like I said, everyone knows their position, and my position was never to be in the protesting element. It's to be behind the scenes, doing the work, building stuff, connecting, networking, and connecting the dots that need to be connected.
Janai, before I ask you the same question. Before I ask you the same question, I just want to read out the mission statement from the Black Lives Matter. So Black Lives Matter mission statement is that Black Lives Matter is a fully committed to the preservation and security of women, children and families.
Okay. Is that it?
That's it. That's why I said I never, mess with that movement. Because
What's that got to do with Black Lives?
Exactly.
Exactly
that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's the obvious.
I'm confused.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And it's not about cool. I didn't hear no men in there neither.
No.
They specifically said women, children and families.
Well,
so how can you have a family without no man?
Yeah.
I don't get that.
I think. Sorry, go on.
No, you go.
It's your turn anyway.
Well, Mark, stop me. I think that there's. I'm with you. You don't have 3 words. Black Lives Matter. Why are you saying these words in this order to me? Do you not? Can you not? What does that mean when you're saying it and asking me to wave a banner? Like, I shouldn't have to be here literally asking anyone to look at me and agree that I matter. Like the most basic level of, I don't even know if you can call that respect. Like a rat matters. Do you know, like a dog matters. Like,
it's obvious.
It's just dumb to me.
I know my life matters.
So they're stating the obvious. So what is their real mission then? Because we all know that all our lives matter.
But again,
wait. Sorry.
No.
Okay.
No, hidden agenda. No,
because you just opened up a deep hole there.
Do you want to go down that road?
Yes, we want to go down.
Let's go back to slavery.
Okay.
If black people's lives didn't matter, do you think they would have enslaved us? Do you think we'd be here today? They need our bodies, they need our blood, they need our energies. This whole world that we have today, this society that's been created, is based off us harvesting us. There's a big ritual that's been done, and they're still doing it in order to build up their economies. If they didn't need us, they would have slaughtered all of us. Let's be real. They could have created a disease and killed us all off if they really wanted to. But they need us. So of course I know my life matters. So how am I going to flip it now? My life matters to you. I'm taking advantage of the situation. That's what we're meant to be doing, but no one's got to that level yet of how we take advantage. It's every man for themselves. We haven't got the community to say, let's build something. And we'll give you something in return, but we won't actually give it to you. But
that's why the stuff that Kanye's doing at the moment, I was reading some of his stuff today, and it's starting to make a little bit more sense. His ideas about, let's look at the contracts. Let's look at these contracts and see who's got what and who's getting what. Yeah. Like that, I'm in. Let's burn
Kanye.
it down.
I like Kanye.
But when he is White Lives Matter, George Floyd was on fentanyl. His knee wasn't even on his neck like that.
Wait. Kanye's deep in it. Kanye knows more than me and you know.
No, but don't play with your community.
Can I say something about Kanye West?
Can I say something though?
You say yours, I'll say my theory on Kanye West.
Cool. When you're talking about the contracts and stuff, let's look at the contracts. He's actually opening up the minds for everyone. And when he's talking about all lives matter, she said it herself. So it's like he's actually reversing it on them.
But it's a political statement at this point because it's a political institution. Like the Black Lives Matter.
Cool. Who's making money from the t-shirts of Black Lives Matter?
Not me.
Yeah, okay, so but Kanye's making money off the White Lives Matter now. A black man's making money off it. So he's flipped it.
Not for me. He hasn't. Okay. Not for me. That's not the way that you flip it for me. You can't go from being the guy that said George Bush doesn't care about black people after Hurricane Katrina to all lives matter, or like, because you understand what that is doing.
Did you know George Floyd is a Mason?
Who? George, the guy that died. Don't do this to me, guys. Oh my god.
See? That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying.
George Floyd, as in the guy that got murdered.
Yes.
He was a Mason.
Yes.
The guy selling cigarettes outside of a bodega in New York was a Mason.
Look at her face. Look at her face. Look at her face.
Can I tell my theory about Kanye West now?
Sorry. So I'm just do that. So I can just percolate on that one.
Okay, I neither dislike or like Kanye West. Let me just put that out there. But I feel like, we know about the whole Hollywood and their programming. I feel like every time he breaks out of this programming, he looks like a crazy person, and I feel like he can only say a certain amount of things, and that makes sense in between all of the rubbish that he talks, in order for certain information to be sent to the people that need to receive it. So he drops gems, and then after that he drops a lot of rubbish to cover his tracks. That's what I'm getting. And then he gets caught again back into the matrix, and then that's when he goes back to Kim K and he's all like thing, and then he breaks out again. Because didn't it happen a couple of years ago? Didn't this happen a couple of years ago?
What, Black Lives Matter?
Kanye West.
Oh.
Going on one.
But who's told you, who painted the narrative he's going on one?
That's what I'm saying is.
He does it to himself. He goes out
I
there
think
and opens
him
his
going
mouth.
on
What
one
does he say?
He's breaking out of it.
What, the thing about Jay-Z? Jay-Z probably backstabbed him and he didn't like it, so he called it out.
I don't know the ins and outs of it. Let me not even stand here and look ignorant. I know what I see on Instagram and what I read on Twitter. I don't know the ins and outs of the proper beef of Jay-Z and Kanye.
In order for Jay-Z to get out of his contract, apparently he took Kanye West under basically his old contract. So basically, in
so
order
he
to break
did-
myself free, I need to get someone else to take the fall.
take-
Then we take Kanye, sign him up, and then da-da-da. And it's the whole industry is like that. In order to get out of my contract, let me find someone else to pass it on to. So if you look at all the rappers, they're all connected back to a bigger rapper, and that rapper is connected back to the white person who's in charge. That's the whole point of the industry. I don't like talking about the industry because it's so like,
no, it's trash.
once you open that can of worms,
She got it spot on.
I can't.
Oh,
I can't be a part of it anymore.
Oh.
I just really hate just like, yeah, so we exploit you. That's just how it works. Get on with it and give me your talent and your creativity and your life in lyrics and song. And we're not going to pay for that. And you should accept that. That's your lot in life. Are we all crazy? Do you go to Tesco's and not get paid? I'm sorry. What's happening here?
Of course.
And why should I be like... this is why I agree with certain things that Kanye's saying, but I don't agree with his methods. I really just...
that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's hints of gems in what he's doing, but you can't give you the full piece of information, otherwise he'll just get got, basically. So that's why he covers it up with a load of crap.
I mean, what I'm about to say probably...
I like Kanye. I'm put it out there.
Adds to your point. I was going to say, Virgil Abloh wrote a whole, like, how-to step-by-step guide to start a brand and a business and make it successful. And now he's dead. So, like, maybe that does buy into your point. You know, there's all these videos of Prince or Michael Jackson getting to a certain place and saying certain things, and then suddenly they're mad, which is what's happening to Kanye. Like, I am open to all of these things being possible. That there is a system that he's playing
Puppet
and he's
master.
trying to do a better job, and there are gems that he's putting out, and he's got to cover it all with the rest of it, but I just don't agree with his methods.
You're right, but you think of the person when he came into music. What was the message he was saying?
Are you the same person that you were 10 years ago, 15 years ago? I was having
Very
this
good point.
conversation. I was saying
Core wise, yes.
maybe
People
so.
like people that went to school with me will still say, "Oh yeah, you're still this." Yeah, but obviously I've learned a lot along the ways and I've adapted my personality. But my core remains the same.
And I think Kanye's core is probably the same. His core is, I want to help people feel. And if that is through music, first of all, and now I'm asking them to feel a way about abortion or Planned Parenthood, or I'm asking them to feel a way about contracts and how I'm being dealt with in the fashion industry, because actually, yeah, it is a wider thing. I might be a billionaire, but actually how they treat me filters down to how they treat you. So I've got to talk about this. Like, I get it, but I just don't think that so I was saying the other day, like, I've come from no money and all of that sob story, and I've been to places with private jets and people with lots of O's in their bank account. If I spend too long in that environment, especially as a black woman, it's just baked into the cake of the environment that I will start to get levels of imposter syndrome. I'll start seeing, okay, so this is how this person has acted or treated that person to get to where they are. The sort of Jay-Z sort of level. Okay, so this is if I want to be there, this is how I've got to play the game.
The formula is the formula.
So how long, once you've spent too long in that environment, you start to think like the other people in that environment, and those other people in that environment are not like you.
No, you're right, because you don't get in a position of power by going against the people in position of power. You have to like them.
And they have to like you.
And then they look at you and be like, you're like a rookie. You're a little young, but come under my wing. Because you like me and I like you. So we can exchange ideologies and boom, I can put you in place.
And if your goal is to make money, you'll easily be bought, to be honest.
Yeah, well done.
And
Simple as that.
I feel like Kanye's been bought.
Oh, yeah. But like I'm saying, that's the industry, though.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
It's,
Everyone's got a price on their head.
You know what? We're going to go away from Kanye because I think we drifted too much into
the
it.
thing was Black Lives Matter.
He's a whole topic himself.
I know, sorry. It wasn't
I wasn't
Kanye.
expecting to speak about Kanye today.
It was Black Lives Matter.
Does Black Lives Matter really stand for black people?
No.
No.
But I think it's
and this is from two melanated women
to.
saying that.
Yeah. No.
You're both saying
Do you
no.
know what they do to us? Like I said, I love the way they play this game.
Oh, you love it, yeah?
No, you have to. You have to rate it. You have to rate the game.
Yeah.
They give like communities, like black communities and other communities, they give us small justices. And I think it holds us for a couple of years, and then they do something outlandish again, and they give us another small little justice. Black Lives Matter is a small justice. have your movement. We're going to put it everywhere for you. Any flyer you want on a football stadium, all your footballers, everyone's going to stand up for Black Lives Matter. That's just going to make you happy for a couple of years. And in the background, we're going to do what we want to do, continue to push out policies and medicines and drugs that's going to continue to deteriorate your community. But you're holding on to your small justice, which is Black Lives Matter at the moment in time. And then when I'm ready to drop my next bomb, we'll think about something new that you can have.
Powers. The Windrush scandal still happened. Like,
for real.
Black Lives Matter was a thing, but people are still getting shot here as well as in America for driving their car. Like,
and I think it's an American thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not.
Like, we love to jump on American movements, and it really gets on my nerves. It's black people in Britain are different. Our racism over here is different, and we need to be moving differently to what they do in America.
I think we do, though.
Like, racism over here affects our mental health more than our physical, because it's not in your face. It's the manipulation, it's the sly comments, the gaslighting. So we're too busy trying to protect our physical, which is understandable, but the mental health is still deteriorating. So when they get us, they're not getting us physically. They just might kill one or two people here, but this is what they're actually targeting, and it's affecting not the young people, the old people, all of us.
So, has Black Lives Matter changed anything since they've...
No,
not at all. Nothing at all.
Not. It's,
I mean, maybe connected people as a community to feel like they're doing something.
Yeah. And which is always a good thing. I think you're always going to get people that really do move things forward when you just connect people and put like-minded people in the same space. They're always going to find some positive to come out of it, even if the powers that be do not listen to you when millions of you march. Like,
Janai, sorry, as a musician, because you meet a lot of different people, in this industry of all races and creeds. What do you say to the people that don't see colour?
Oh my God.
Go away.
Get out of here.
You.
I don't see colour.
Nah, that is...
Yeah, I like that answer. Let's straight to the point, because it's obvious, isn't it? Everyone sees colour. I see you. I see your colour. How come you don't see my colour? Well, you blind?
Literally, that's been a bugbear of mine. That and people
It's
being
easy
like,
escape,
"Well,
innit?
sister, like, I'm sorry, you're from Kent. Why have you addressed me like that? You have literally stepped into inner city London, like, to come to university. Please do not talk to me like you would talk to anyone else." Like,
they switched up the dialect.
Obviously, it depends on who I'm talking to.
Okay, of course. But I know. I pictured the person saying it to you.
Exactly. There's a book by Franz Fanon called Black Face White Mask, or it's the other way around. I can't remember.
Black Face White Mask.
Yeah, and he says in it, you know how, like, when you're talking to kids, you'll be like, you'll do it on their level. You're infantilizing them. They kind of understand what you mean. You don't need to talk to them like that. And when white people approach us and they're trying to get down on our level, they're infantilizing us. They're saying, I'm not going to talk to you with the intellect and the respect that I would talk to anyone else. I'm going to use your dialect, and which we all know I see as inferior to how I would normally talk. So I've always had that idea that, wagwan, say that to me one more time. I don't care if you're from London and you grew up in Tottenham. Like, if you're not melanated, don't do it. It's been my bugbear for such a long time.
We used to gatekeep slang. I know I'm young, but when I was in school, we used to gatekeep that. What happened? When someone used to speak slang that wasn't part of the community, we would cuss them out.
Like, what you said.
They would feel that.
Central,
but now,
Central Season that happened.
Everybody talking.
Ancient Central Season.
I don't even know what country you're from anymore.
That happened.
Don't also, like, I'm a Libra in it, so I'm always going to see two sides. But don't get me wrong. I agree that we've all grew up on an estate. There's all manner of people from all over the world that speak not like me. I think I speak quite posh because of the school that I went to, but like there's all manner of people that I grew up with that come from the same place and their home life is the same as mine and actually live it. But when I meet those people, I can see that from a mile away. I can smell it from a mile away. I don't have an issue, but you can also smell it from a mile away when someone's trying to ingratiate themselves with you because they see black as cool. Like, go away.
I know. But in their household, they have nothing to do with
nothing. They're like, yes, mummy. Like, would you like? Shall we go to the Tate this weekend? You know what I mean?
I'm gonna keep this politically correct.
Like,
I would say a lot still.
I was trying to drop them stereotypes.
Hey, listen, it's too late. It's too late.
I'll
I'm
take
allowed.
the L for that one. It was me. I started it.
Oh,
But yeah, no. Black Lives Matter. I think is a free words that people have put together, and there's a lot of undercover. Where's the money going? What's it for? Who's it for? And I think that black people need to. I was going to say, like, really internalize those three words. I think there's a massive issue, like you were saying, like mental health issues. There's a massive like thing where I'm not going to therapy. I'm not going to talk about my feelings. I'm not going to actually address any of the things that make me feel whatever they make me feel, because that is not for me. That's part of a different life for me. And I think Black Lives Matter needs to get internalized so that we're really fixing our own stuff internally so that we can work as a community in a much more effective way.
why don't Black Lives Matter ever come out when there's black on black crimes?
Exactly.
Because there's lots.
Have you ever seen a black serial killer? No. Is that called a white thing?
I think I've seen I've seen Mad Men still. I can't deny it. But the term serial killer, it does associate with white people. Yes.
And we still romanticize that. Oh, he killed 17 men in a really gruesome way. Oh,
Yeah,
wasn't he
that's sick.
There's so many
handsome?
serial killer movies out on Netflix at the moment. I was just thinking to myself yesterday,
That's sick
like,
still. That's
what's
sick.
going on? They're
That's
really
sick.
trying to program people.
Someone through circumstances out of their control that puts them in poverty and wreaks havoc on their mental health and how they see themselves. They go and commit a crime and they put them in the bin. Don't look at them again. They are a despicable member of society. Like how? What? I'm sorry.
I use the word melanated more than I use black. As two melanated women, what would you say is the correct terminology to how to address you lot? Would you say it's black? Would you say it's African
You can
European?
call me black. I'm black.
Would you say melanated? Would you say people color? What would
Black
you?
is fine.
Yeah.
Black
Black.
is fine. Like,
But
there's
if
nothing wrong with
if I
black.
say black is a term from colonization, I ain't really. No one's black.
Yeah.
I'm not black. I'm brown.
But
No, I hear that.
isn't ancient Egypt and Kemet mean like land of the blacks? That's the direct translation.
She raises a good point.
So technically, we did call ourselves, or our ancestors did call themselves.
But it's silly to say we called ourselves that when. Why would I want to call someone black when there's no one else or no other colour
Because
in my
black
region?
is beautiful.
In my region, but no one else has no other colour to differentiate.
Well, there's loads of
There's
different
shades
colours. Yeah.
And then Africans were travellers, so they would know there were different races and things like
But
that.
then they'll use tribes names instead of saying black. Because I tell you why. If this is from my experience. When I think I read a part of the Bible where it said something about, was it Noah, when he took his hand out his cloak and it was white like leprosy. That already shows that everyone there is black. So when he took it out, it was a shock. So I don't think they'll be using the terminology black those times. To be fair, I think it'll be more tribes and regions and faraway lands.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be using melanated either.
True.
So
But melanated is not a term from colonialism.
No.
That's my point.
that's true.
I think.
And sorry, melanated can include mixed race people because we forgetting about them as well. You know,
True.
because they're
Mixed race.
of course,
melanated
yes,
could
but
mean
they're not.
Asian people.
But the thing,
They're
can
not.
we
What's
talk about
what's
this?
the got?
Because
They're
as people,
not
as someone
in
who,
it.
when I speak about mixed race people, I love to say that you need to own both sides of your race. Stop trying to pick one or the other. Stop telling them to pick one side or the other. There's nothing wrong with owning both sides of your race. Because then you're going to get confused, and then you're going to feel like you're missing a part of yourself by choosing one side. Learn about both sides of your race. Embrace both sides of your race, no matter how traumatic it may be, because then that's how you paint a whole picture of yourself and your identity. So saying you're black means that you're missing out another piece of yourself.
I think
Like-
obviously it depends on where you grew up, but I think that's really difficult for a mixed race person because society sees you as black.
I understand
So
that,
you
but I
kind
know a
of
lot of
have to
mixed race
cheat your-
people are confused because they
No,
have
no.
one piece missing.
They're
And they-
confused because I don't think they're told that they're black. Let me, for example, take your child to Poland. You think they're going to call him mixed race? Yeah, right. He's a black boy.
But that's an external thing. I'm talking about for internal.
Even here,
yourself.
even here though, when you deep it, they're not saying the mixed race, but they're saying the blackies or they're not.
It's still an
they're
external
grouping with
thing.
us.
That's the external people. I'm talking about for
Also,
yourself.
though, like
Okay.
black is just it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
I'm like, think,
100.
look at the culture, just
100%.
the beauty, the richness, and what, especially in UK culture, what we've brought to it. If you grew up when I grew up, like, you're not looking at very many. I'm looking at Kano and Getz and Wiley and all of these people as my sort of heroes. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think, like, they're. I've lost my point. I'm so.
But
sorry.
like for black and Asian, that's still
That's so
mixed
annoying.
race. That's still two big cultures. So what? Say, oh, still pick black. You're missing out on a whole massive culture there. Customs, practices, music, food.
But Asian.
And I know we talk about black and white, but there's still other races that mix and are
right.
mixed race.
You're right, but you can put a black and Asian family, but there'll still be that element of racism still there.
I understand, but it's not about.
So why is he
it's
gonna
about
gravitate
identity
towards-
and understand both sides of your race and your culture and your history? That's it for me. Just put you in one box and make you abandon one side or the missing piece of the puzzle.
I understand what you're saying. That's
As simple as that. Because as experiencing mixed race people in childhood and stuff, the confusion, I'm like, you don't have to pick a side. You can understand both sides of your race. You know what I'm saying? You have a black and white parent, but you're going to be with your dad's side all the time. Do you know what I'm saying? Mum has her own culture too. It may not be as extravagant or like stolen from us, but it's still something.
It depends
It's all
on
stolen.
their culture, innit? Really and truly.
It's all of it.
Like,
stolen.
you ain't gonna
Look at the
compare
crown.
bangers and mash to curry go
Right.
let's keep it true, innit? You're gonna go where you're going, innit? Like,
That's what I'm saying.
you are, innit? Like, you're
Yeah.
gonna taste that, then you're gonna taste that and be like,
I'm over here.
there's levels to this.
I need jollof rice in the morning.
I just, from what I see, when I see mixed race people, when they get introduced to their black side, they're black. If they don't get introduced to it, they stay white.
Yeah.
It's just, I think once you expose them to it, there's no turning back, bruh.
Yeah. It also depends. I think. I'm really. This will get me cancelled. I think
Politically correct.
Watch me-
Politically correct.
watch
Let me
me
remind you.
Keep talking. No, I think sometimes it depends on the type of blackness that they're shown. Some black
You're right.
people who gravitate. I'm in a mixed race relationship, but I know my blackness. I think some people don't. Some people are in that relationship to sort of get a bit of status or get you like try and not
the
be
white or
as
black
black.
partner?
The black
Okay,
partner.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I know growing up in my family, no one really wanted me to get with a white guy, but it was like, okay, she's gonna do well in life. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's that sort of prestige of like, okay, I don't love it, but it's better. Do you know what I mean?
No, I agree with you. I agree.
Does the partner understand who you are as well?
Who, mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he like deep? Does he deep dive into who your culture is and everything? Because if he was gonna have children,
Yeah, we've
he's
spoken
gonna
about this a lot.
experience racism and
Yeah.
how is he gonna deal with it?
Yeah.
He's gonna stick his head in the sand.
Yeah.
Or is he gonna be like, you know what? I need to educate myself.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm not even going to lie about it. We had to sit down and have that conversation
Oh,
because
good.
as much as he's grown up in London and he listens to all of
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
No,
You don't get it.
No, I
Like,
don't get
and
it.
I know that you don't get it. So we really had to sit down and I had to like really make him be intentional about really looking at African history and black history and really knowing his stuff so that when we are in, and his whole family, to be fair, because I was like you all need to be able to stick up for our kid. I'm not bringing one into this world unless you're all able to do that. So get your together.
And I think that's what's missing in a lot of interracial couples is that education element. It's just like, let's just merge
Education.
together
No.
and
That's a big deal.
figure it
No.
out. And that's what the breakdown
It's
comes.
crazy because when people are looking for partners, there's no thought about it. But when people are looking for, I don't know,
trainers,
a bloody dog,
a new computer.
they're looking at the whole breed and does it
Spec.
suit my personality? And
Thank you.
It's just silly.
Star
Thank
signs.
you.
Yeah.
Literally. I find you attractive. Let's have sex. If
Nah.
there's a baby, there's a baby. Look, we can love it. No.
That's
It doesn't-
teenager
doesn't-
shit, bruv. Like,
Thank
come on,
you.
we're adults.
And
innit?
you
Thank
experience
you.
something racist and you go and tell your partner, they're like,
Oh, it wasn't that bad.
see, like, I can't deal with that.
Literally. Like, I think the first...
Move out my way, bruv. I don't
We-
want to hear that. I don't want to hear that at all.
We went to Amsterdam, and I think this was the first time that he was really aware of active racism.
Because we're a black woman now.
No, yeah, no, because we were fine. It was fine, and we went to a cafe, and he got a hot chocolate. No, we were getting drinks, and I saw someone with a hot chocolate, and it was like overflowing with marshmallows, and it just looked like delicious. So I was like, I want one of those, and then she went and made me one, and the thing that she put down in front of me was just this like. It barely had any milk in it. It was barely chocolatey, no marshmallows. It was just like.
It wasn't attractive.
I literally looked at that. I told you that I wanted one of those, and this is what you bought me. So I was like, instantly, like, why are you being racist, bro? Like, clearly there's no other dynamic here. This is a racist incident, and it was the first time that we'd really had that
Could have run out of milk.
Conversation. They hadn't run out of milk. But no, but this is the thing.
Say that.
These are all the things that even you gaslight yourself into. You're like, maybe she was busy, maybe she didn't know how to.
But you know racism and you feel it and you just know it. Like you're experiencing this thing.
And I know that this is what is happening here. But he was really like, no, it could have been any number of other reasons. And then that was one of the first times that I really had to be like, no, like this is what that is. This is what this feels like. And like since then, I think he's really been on the lookout and he really does understand when things like that happen and he would be able to respond.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
I think you can only learn from experiencing it.
Definitely.
Because if you never experience it, why would you? Why would you care?
Exactly.
To be fair.
Or if you have no care for someone that does experience it, then you're never gonna.
You know, it's mad. We stayed mad and long on this topic as well.
Oh God.
You need to get a timer.
Like 9 o'clock. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
But it's good. It's
you're
cool.
Never gonna have me back now.
Remember we said there's gonna be two topics anyway.
Yeah,
but
it's true, though,
you know what? We're gonna forget 5 more minutes. Let's go. Let's do the last one. Let's go. Let's run it.
All right.
Fly through this one.
All right. I'm not gonna talk. Philosophy. Why has it got to be this one?
That's gonna be a long ass.
Ay.
So
What's the question?
50.
No, do you know what? Give us some quotes from your Proverbs because that is very philosophical. Sorry, I really put you on the spot there. I didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna buy it now.
I don't even know what one to pick. I picked my favourite one. If the full moon doesn't love you, why worry about the stars? I can't remember what country that's from, but that's my favourite one. If the full moon doesn't love you, if the full moon loves you, why worry about the stars? That's it.
I like that.
Alright, cool. You want the first one?
Go ahead.
Have gadgets and apps taken away our
I'm so glad you said this.
emotions?
I'm so glad you
emotions.
brought this topic up. I'm so glad you did. I was at a Samsung event the other day and I was talking about tech for sustainability, isolation, diversity and inclusion. And I was just like, why are we using tech to solve human interactions and stuff like that? Like, I understand it, but I was like, but at the root of tech is still humans, so why are we making a disconnect in the first place? Right. So I was just like, I couldn't think of an app to create for them to be like, yeah, let's help with this. But yeah, I feel like gadgets are, but we live in an individualistic society anyway, so at the same time community is dying out because that's where the Western world is. So it makes sense that tech is being used to bridge that gap and take away from human experiences, because what happens when you have no community? You're easily programmed.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
Is gadgets and tech
Taking away our emotions.
No, I think they are heightening them. I don't think they're taking them away. I think they are creating a sort of hive mentality.
An overstimulation.
Yeah. So that it's easy to jump on bandwagons and cancel someone without understanding the nuance of what they're saying or even caring about it, really. Like, just the ability to see grey is just like
you're being told how to feel and to think about a situation. And it's like, everyone's feeling this way, so I should feel this way, so I'm going to feel this way.
Like, everyone hates Andrew Tate.
I still just don't understand that whole situation.
You don't like Andrew Tate either?
What is there to like, please?
Oh!
No, okay, wait,
oh!
stop. Wait.
No. Let's move on.
Wait.
We're going to talk after.
Maybe got 5 minutes.
This is going to get... Quick one. Let's wrap this up, yeah? It's the last question, guys.
Yeah.
Is it more important to be respected or liked?
Respected.
Actually, you're straight up.
That's it.
Rather be respected than liked.
I want to walk into a room and people know who I am, and that's it.
You don't have to like me.
Yeah, don't have to like me. Just move out my way. That's it.
Cool. Straight up.
What is your definition of respect? Sorry. No, it's good. I can't answer the question.
It's good. You know.
Is it the you walk into a room and people know who you are, move out the way?
Yeah, there's a question of who are you, why are you
that
here?
That level of like authority and power.
Yeah. And just being respected for my craft and creativity and who I am as an individual. Like,
rather than being liked.
Because you could be good at your job and everyone respects you for it, but no one likes you.
No one likes you, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's great at his job, but he's a bit of a knob, you know.
As long as my family and community like me, that's all I really care about. I don't care about other people. But even then, it's like... I don't like people. I don't like people, so like, I don't care if you like me, I don't like you anyway. I like one person in my life, like, let's be real.
No, I hear you. I think I'm a sop. So I think you can, if people like you, you will nearly always gain their respect. Whereas people can respect you and not like you, and that's that if you they wouldn't.
If everyone likes you, there's a problem.
You could be ill and no one will care. They respect you.
If
and
you
they
ever want
like
a cup
your
of
job.
tea, you're what? You're mugging it.
No, I don't.
If everyone likes you, you're people pleaser. There's something I don't know.
You're not for everyone. There's too much different personalities out here for everyone to like me. Definitely. I might say something that irritates them so bad. And to me, it's my normal day-to-day talking. So, but I'm happy with that. I'm cool with that. You can hate me because I'm happy with myself.
Even hate's a strong word. It's a lot to hate someone anyway. So how are you hating me? Like you don't. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. So people like me but don't respect me, or they respect me but they don't like me. When you say it that way, people like me but they don't respect me. That does sound really sad. It's quite whack.
It's whack.
I'll take it back.
No, it's just your opinion. Don't be.
No, you're right.
No.
She said it in a way that made sense, innit?
Yeah.
They like me, but they don't respect me.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? They're just gonna violate me. Then.
So when you leave that room, they're trying. They're trying to.
I mean,
welcome to your house tonight, innit?
When I leave this room, I don't know what you two are going to say about me. I've been saying some things today. No, I'm joking. I've had such a good time. This has been really fun.
No, thank you for coming down and giving me your time. And
you're welcome.
Yeah, me. Big up both yourselves, Kesi. Yo, drop your socials, Kesi, quickly.
Website www.kessistephen.com. Instagram @kessie.sx, and then that will connect you to Facebook and LinkedIn and all that stuff. So yeah, and my book's on Amazon.
Nice,
just saying, professional things.
Nice. And it's called
A Guide to Life, African Proverbs. Maybe or just type my name on the internet. It'll pop up. You know what I'm saying?
Nice, I like it. I am.
Send me the link. I'll put it to the video.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm Janai Music, JANAI Music. Hey. On all of the things, but I hate social media, so.
Tell me about it.
You rarely post. It's flowers. If you come on there, you'll just see loads of plants. That's what you'll see on my page. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for the platform, for letting me talk the things.
No, thank you.
It's been really interesting and really fun.
Yeah. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate and respect your opinions today, and it was a good chat.
It was.
So people, you know the show. If your mouth don't empower, keep it. Ayom. Powers.